There's a reason why some journals stay on Amazon's bestseller list for years, while others disappear after a few months. The difference? Evergreen content. Today, I'll reveal the journal niche that never stops selling and how you can create your own version in Canva right now. Also, I learned a big hack that I can't wait to share with you once we get into the editing.
This just got interesting.
A New Year resolution journal is hyper niched, so you can create it for a specific audience. It's also evergreen because we're not going to put the year on it. If you create it now, like today, then it's not too late to get traction for the holidays. But this will sell year after year because we're going to create a title and description that doesn't limit you to just holiday sales. Oh, and don't forget, I've got all of this written down for you on my website at reneeclancy.com. I always start my research here in Amazon. There are a lot of other places you can use. There's no one right or wrong way. I think you'll just get used to a certain process. And if that works for you, stick with it. So here I like to log out of my Amazon so it doesn't get muddled with some of my recent searches or other things that I've done. If you want to go even one better, then you probably want to open an incognito window and try searching there. So I'm going to start here. I started here with just searching New Year resolution journal, and then 2026 popped up. So I thought, okay, well, why don't I go ahead and see what's on the horizon for 2026? These are all ready. They have the 2026. This one, though, popped up, and I thought, oh, well, this doesn't have 2026 on it. It's doing really well, lots of likes. Then I kept on searching. All the others were 2026. I thought, okay, what is it? What's special about this particular book that it came up, even though it's not 2026? Let's look inside this journal, see what it has, and see what we can use from it and what people do and don't like from this particular journal. See some of the images. Oh, good. It looks like it's very transformational. Great gift. And this is what we're hoping it will be. Also, a great gift for the holidays and throughout the year. Maybe someone's birthday. Okay, another great review. Oh, every once in a while, it seems like the bad reviews tend to be because it came a little damaged. Another great review. Super excited. I wish it didn't arrive with sticky, slimy. Okay, so again, a little damaged. Okay, let's look inside of this book and see what else is going on here. I do like that it's colored on the inside. It's beautiful, but I'm really trying to keep the cost of my books down. I'm trying to keep them all below the $8 or $9 mark. I don't want to press myself out of this particular market. And this is lovely, but I think I'm going to keep mine black and white. But you can see the same theme is kind of continued all the way through. This is kind of like a mid-century modern, would you say? Or Art Deco. I'm obviously not good at styling, but you can see they're carrying some of the same themes throughout the entire book. But then you can see here, I like this, that it says the week, and then it just says the date, and then you fill in the rest, and it has here suggestions, some inspirational things here and there. Let's make this book. So I'm going to start here in Canva, and I typed in journal book cover. Now, I'm actually doing this. Here's my hack that I'm trying. I'm doing this a little different. I'm starting opposite. I usually start by creating the inside, but then I struggle with consistency in the general theme of the book. And I'm going back in later and throwing in those little elements that really incorporate the theme of the book. So this time I'm starting opposite. I'm starting with the cover, the theme, which I'm sure many of you are like, Renee, we've been doing that for a while. But I want you to know that I usually do it inside first. This time I'm doing the cover and it turned out great. I'm going to do this from now on. So I came through, I'm looking here at the covers. A lot of them are just, definitely on the journal side. I've done this one and that's nice, but I wanted something that definitely had a theme I could carry throughout. I really liked this one here with like those swirls, but that one might be a little difficult to carry that theme throughout, to have little elements here and there. And then I kept on looking at that. That'd be nice to have hearts. But again, I want this to be gender neutral. I think that might be a little too much on the girl side. And then I came in, I saw this one and I clicked on it and I thought that's a really great starter page because I can continue those themes all throughout. I've got the watercolor leaves. I've got a little bit of that soft green, still the kind of watercolor splashes. So I went ahead and I made the cover. Now, I did select another cover at first. It was this one. I thought, hey, and this may still work with the circles and the swirls and the dots. I can just remove the notes and remove the lines. This can be my cover, and then I can repeat these elements throughout the inside. And I thought it might be a little too juvenile, which is fine if you're looking more for the teen audience, but always have someone in mind when you make a book. Imagine who you are making this book for, and it makes it so much easier to make the book. So in this particular instance, I decided to think of my sister, and she has 3 lovely children, and she loves to set goals. This would be the perfect book for her, and this is definitely her style, and she's got great style. So here I kept the general background. I moved this frame to over here. I used Canva's text. I called it 52-week guided journal. And then afterwards, I came back and I included the pages inside the journal as an example so you can see them. Now you might be thinking, Renee, how did you know what size to make it? Let me show you. So this is the template that KDP made for me, and I just downloaded it and transferred it over here. Let me show you how I did it. I came here to the KDP cover calculator. I asked Gemini in this situation to format the book for me and give me like a general outline. That way I would know how many pages I needed. So I know I needed 117 pages. I'm going to be doing a paperback because I do want to make it just a little bit smaller. I don't want 8 by 10. I don't want 8.5 by 11. I wanted to do a 6 by 9 so someone can put it in their purse or their bag or just keep it by the side of the bed, a little bit more portable. White paper. So I'm doing here a 6 by 9, typing in the amount of pages, and then it calculates the dimensions. And this is the template that I uploaded. And then I just came here and I resized my 6 by 9 to include these parameters, the overall dimensions. I just changed the width and the height, and it matched it perfectly. So that made it really easy. And then I was sure to keep this here, keeping the template here. And I would just go up and down in the transparency because like I wanted to see where like the weeks were, right? Where it was spaced, and I wanted to see where this was. I wanted to make sure everything was spaced correctly. Okay, let's hop on over to the inside of this book. For this one, I wanted to do a bleed. Now let's remember what a bleed is. KDP is a really great example. For this particular image, on the left, this one has no bleed, and on the right, this one has a bleed because the image is bleeding off the edge. I know it's gory, but it works. So that here, if we look on the right-hand side, after the book has been trimmed, you can see that there's no little white line right there where the image has been cut. That's because the image ran off of the edge. I decided I wanted a bleed on the inside of this book because I wanted some of those images, some of those leaves to look like they were coming from the outside and kind of framing the book. I didn't want to have to worry about those dimensions. So I decided to do it with a bleed. And it has all of the dimensions down here for me. This is with and without a bleed, example, page sizes. So this one is my 6 by 9. Okay. And I just came over here and it told me exactly what I needed, 6.125 by 9.25. So when I came here to my page, I was able to type in the custom height. I made the cover. I found a watercolor leaf that fit with the front page. Now this was in color and I wanted to desaturate it because I want to see what it's going to look like. So inside is going to be grayscale. So I came here to edit. And what I did was I came here to adjust in the studio, and then I just turned the saturation down so that it was in black and white. And I did that with all of the images. So this is my title page. I made my copyright, and actually Gemini did all of this for me. Let me jump on over there and show you what it made. So here I started telling it exactly what I needed, and it walked me through what this was going to look like. It gave me an outline. It gave me what's going to be on the inside, all the description, everything. And then it started kind of chunking things. Like it said, here's what's for the back, here's what's for, and I wanted it all in one PDF. And so again, nothing is ever one and done. You need to read what it creates and then adjust and ask it to adjust for you. If it ever gets stuck and it keeps recreating the same thing, just start a new chat, kind of like resetting it. So it was making like each of these page by page, and I wanted it to put all together for me into one document. So I said, put it into one document, and it did. I exported it to sheets. So here I was able to know, okay, from page 5 to page 107, this is what it's going to be. On, page 6, this is what it's going to look like. It made the copyright for me, and I just copied and pasted it. So here is my layout. Here is inside front cover, back side of front cover. Then here we have, I did a welcome and just kind of explaining what the book was about. And then this is the back cover of that page. Now it had me create this annual focus goal area, which I really liked. And I hopefully continue, some of the leaves here and there. It asked for a day one baseline. Then here it started with week 1. And this is the left side of the page. This is the right side. And then I just copied and pasted. Oh, and this is what I did for the outline. I just did another, or for kind of like the border. I got another watercolor leaf all from the elements over here. And then I just desaturated it. So this is the left side of the page. And this is the right side of the page. And I liked it because it made it kind of look like a complete page, almost framing the page. And then I liked the daily habit tracker. I found though that a lot of them were kind of cutesy, with like the big smile. And I did do this right here, but I tried to get one that was a little bit more mature, not like cute hearts and big smiley faces. But this one worked out great. What I did here for this is it actually had more. It was bigger than this. So here, as if you wanted something for 7 days, but I just wanted it to be a daily habit tracker for 3 habits that would go over the 7 days. So here I just edited it like an image, cropped out the bottom, and then it gave me the size that I wanted. So I went ahead and continued through the entire book, making sure I had 52 weeks worth, left one blank page for the back of this one, and then it started with quarter check-ins, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. Well, the quarter 4 is the final one. And then an annual kind of growth reflection page. And that's my book. Downloaded the whole thing as a PDF. Now, let's talk quality really quickly. Here, I downloaded this as a PDF standard, all of the pages, because it's inside, it's not color. This is good enough quality, the PDF standard. But the cover, I was sure to download that as a PDF print because I wanted to ensure that it kept the highest quality of standard for the front cover. It's color, it's what everyone's going to see the most. So that's how I differentiate. So here I have Gemini created this entire description for me. I'll go through how I uploaded everything. And I was sure not to repeat anything here in the subtitle that's in the title. It says guided, but it doesn't say guided journal again. And I'm going to utilize all the subtitles or the keywords that I can. Now here is the description. And it's very detailed. It says everything that I need it to. I own the copyright. And then I came down here and I even asked Gemini to tell me what categories it should be in. And it gave me everything I needed. It also gave me the keywords. I think I need to get better at my keyword phrases because there's a lot of repeats in here, a lot of keyword repetition. And while it's not bad, it doesn't help. So I need to be a little bit more focused on that, and I'll work on that moving forward. So because it's a journal, it's considered low content, and I'm publishing without an ISBN, black and white interior, 6x9, make sure I click bleed. I'm going to do a matte front cover. I uploaded the manuscript and the cover. And then here in the which part was AI created, the entire work, some editing, I used Gemini. No images or translations were done with AI, and let's launch the previewer. I think it turned out really nice. Everything's centered. It looks good, just the framing I wanted. Oh, I wanted to show you, I had Gemini create 52 short inspirational quotes for me. And so I added them to the bottom left-hand side. So each page is just a little bit different, a separate quote for the week. And I'm really glad I did that just to make it a little bit different. And approve. Because I was able to keep the cost down with the inside black and white, keeping it 6x9, I was able to get it down to $6.95. Still going to make $1 on each copy, and I love that price. I think it's perfect for the holidays. Let me know if you have any questions.